And good morning, everyone. Welcome to this day.
Good morning. Today is Wednesday, May 15th, and it is National Chocolate Chip Day. Not cookie, but chocolate chip day.
Chips.
And we're going to tell you the history of the chocolate chip just after Ken tells us who's on.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yet delicious.
We've had two good days. Yesterday was biscuits, and today is chocolate chips.
I know.
Yeah.
Makes me hungry.
I know. Today we're going to have a segment with AutoNation Toyota Irvine. Also, the Baby Boomers Club is here, and they're going to talk about their upcoming Woodstock event. Well, it's not really until July, so you got a few months to think about it, but we'll tell you all about it. A segment with the City of Hope and the Old Pros is presenting Charlie Brown, and that begins on Friday, so we'll tell you all about that.
Yes, and that is going to be a musical, not just a play,
Yeah.
so that ought to be a lot of fun. Okay, so then the meetings we have today is the village traffic hearings. The AM ones are in the boardroom at 9 a.m., and then the afternoon ones are in the Sycamore Room at 1 p.m. And then we also have the GRF Landscape Committee, which will be in the boardroom at 1:30. Okay, so in 1937, Ruth Graves Wakefield of Whitman, Massachusetts, must have been curious what a little bit of chocolate would add to her cookies. So while working at the Toll House Inn, she added cut up chunks of semi-sweet Nestle chocolate bar to a cookie recipe. The cookies were a huge success at the inn, and in 1939, Wakefield signed an agreement with Nestle to add her recipe to the chocolate bar's packaging. Now, in exchange for the recipe, Wakefield received a lifetime supply of chocolate. Seems like a small price to pay for that recipe that is so popular today. Anyway, the Nestle brand Toll House was named after the inn in which she worked. Nestle initially included a small chopping tool with the chocolate bars, and then starting in 1941, Nestle and other competitors started selling the chocolate in chip and morsel forms. Semi-sweet was the original flavor of chocolate chips, but today they come in so many different varieties: bittersweet, semi-sweet, mint, white chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, butterscotch, which I didn't list here, and then one that I had never seen before, which was the white and dark swirled, which is kind of interesting. And then mint, I found a picture that pretty much just comes around, at holiday time. But anyway, today chocolate chips are used in a variety of different types of savory and sweet, and I was going to make chocolate chip pancakes today for you, Ken, but I hit the snooze button just one too many times, so I wasn't able to do it. But anyway, maybe next time.
Yeah, I love the background there that you have, the chocolate chips. And like yesterday, we had the biscuits. Yeah. Hey, let's just take a look at this. This is just some top tennis players out there. This is the annual, senior USTA tournament. People come from all over to play right here in Laguna Woods, and this is ongoing, so you can go over and watch them. But I have to tell you, it is quite impressive. I think the oldest gentleman is in his 90s, and as I said, they come from all over to play in this tournament. Of course, the USTA is the big organization throughout the country, and the players are in the tournament right now. I'm not sure how many total, but I do know that they come all over, some from very far away to play in this tournament. So check this out. It is ongoing down at the tennis courts. A lot of fun to watch these folks play, and man, it's incredible how good they are. It really is. And Mark, let me get out of the way for just a minute. Mark was telling me there was a gentleman down there who had not played in years and decades and got back on the court, and that's what you want to see. That's what living here is all about, going back and getting into the swing of things, quite literally. All right, we're going to get in the swing of things right here with the weather, and we're going to see increasing clouds today with a chance of rain coming in this evening. Now, right now, the way it's looking is about a 10% chance at about 7, 8 o'clock, a little bit more as we go forward. And then this storm that is coming in, and they are actually calling this a late winter storm because it's could dump anywhere from a ½ inch to an inch of rain throughout Southern California. That's really due to start coming in after midnight with the heaviest amount of rain overnight into tomorrow morning. And then still the chance of scattered rain throughout tomorrow on Thursday. This is bringing snow into the Sierras and even a dusting of snow up into our local mountains up in Arrowhead and above there. They should get a little bit of snow out of this. So this is not usual, but not unusual. Probably every, it looks like about every maybe, 6, 7, 8 years, this happens, that we get this. And of course, throughout other parts of the country, it's quite common to get these late winter storms. Now, it looks like now on Friday, we'll see scattered clouds instead of rain spilling over into there. However, as we move to Sunday, we got a 20% chance of evening showers coming up. Starting again. So this little bit of rain we're getting is going to continue. As I said, tomorrow, throughout the day on Thursday, we could get a ½ inch or more in total, and some thunderstorms could be associated with that. So, and even, as I said, we could see, not here in Saddleback, I don't think, but they're saying above 6,000 feet, they could see a dusting of snow in certain areas. Here we are today, pretty darn nice, you know. We're going to get the clouds coming in a little bit later, a little bit of sun, little things mixing in, and then a little bit of the rain coming in again this evening. It's hard to tell. What I've seen anytime after 7, 8 o'clock at night, we'll start to see a little bit of a drizzle out there. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. And remember, go out and watch those tennis players. They're remarkable.
Through my window, I see the first sunlight, and I feel the warm ocean breeze. I see the waves that lulled me all night. That's what my window brings me.
Look at this.
That view is $1 million.
It's amazing we can look at these kinds of places within our budget.
You don't have a bad view from here anywhere you look.
It's all about the view. Sunday night is beach night. Sunday night at 8, only on HGTV.
Welcome back. As every Wednesday, we have AutoNation Irvine Toyota, and we've got Steve Smith here, who is the manager of the service department. He's got some great stuff to share with us. Welcome.
Well, good morning. Good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. So I understand that there are residents in our community who've actually seen you here on TV, and they have come to you guys, and they have sent you letters and thank you notes. Tell me about that.
They have. In fact, one of the guests was just in the other day. Her name is Annette, and she runs the committee that does the activities for the store. And so she was in, and we spent some time in my office and had a wonderful conversation. She told me not to be so nervous while I'm up here. So today I'm going to try to not be as nervous as I have been in the past and just talk about the things we need to get done.
Well, and you guys have a lot of things to get done. And as you said to me beforehand, most importantly is safety.
Absolutely. That's our #1 priority there, is to make sure that every vehicle there gets a multi-point inspection. Every vehicle there, when it leaves there, is safe. The customer can feel safe. A lot of the letters that we're seeing the customers come in with that they don't know that is coming from Toyota is a safety recall. Okay. And so we can go through that letter with them and tell them if it applies to their vehicle. We can actually get that done for them. We kind of set up a Wednesday the last time we were here.
Right.
We set up a Wednesday day for the Laguna Woods. And in that Wednesday, we set up an alignment special for $89.99, as well as buy 3, get 1 free.
Right.
So we will continue to do that for our Laguna Woods guests. We also would recommend them to bring their safety recall letter with them, so we can look at it. Because sometimes even when the recall is completed, the manufacturer will still continue to send them that letter. And when it says on there that the vehicle could be involved in a crash situation or whatever, people panic. We just need to put them at ease and let them know it has either been done or we'll do it at the time.
So that's coming straight from the manufacturer, though,
Straight
right?
from the manufacturer. That comes directly from Toyota Motor Division.
Okay, and I know that you guys talked last time that we generally just kind of throw those things away. How can they distinguish the difference between just a regular sales type letter and that letter?
On that particular letter, it will have 2 red stripes on it on the top, and it'll say urgent attention. And so that's how they know. And so when you get something from sales, it's not necessarily like that. But when you get it from TMS and it says that, that's when you really should pay attention to it. If it says go visit your dealer, absolutely bring it in. Or once again, we put the number up there. They can call directly in. We can pull their history up and we can look at it and see if that campaign has been completed and take that peace of mind and just make sure they're okay with it.
So you brought this letter here, and is that what you're talking about?
I brought a sample of what basically the letter looks like. The header on that letter usually will have 2
it's
red.
hard to see, but okay, so it have red on the top.
Yeah,
okay.
red on top, and then so basically the customer, when they receive that, then if they want to make that call, you know, before they take the drive down.
Okay.
And then they can do that.
Okay, perfect. All right, good. Now let's talk about possibly if somebody was interested in coming to the facility and, you know, maybe talking to you directly, and maybe you can give a tour. What if they just want to know what the service department's all about?
I would absolutely welcome that, and I would love to take them for a tour through the service department. Want to make sure that they wear the right shoes. Don't be wearing your high heels, but wear the right shoes, because, you know, techs are out there working. But if any of the guys would love, or even the women would love to come down, because we're going to hold a clinic soon, and we're going to show everybody where the spare tire is, where the jack, where the stuff is in case there is an issue or something. We just don't do that kind of things anymore, right? So. You know, if they do get stranded in a situation, at least they'll know. And, you know, I'm sure that every one of them have AAA. We are a huge AAA dealer. So we offer the AAA discount all the time, and we welcome the AAA members. So, but we're going to hold a clinic, and then anytime that any of them want to come down during the day, if they got nothing to do, they can stop by my office. I'd love to give them the 5-minute tour of the shop, show them the techs. Any questions they have on their vehicles, go over it with them. Just spend some time with them.
Well, and you guys can have some coffee and chit-chat.
We have some coffee. Saturday we have donuts. So Saturday Donut Day.
All right. Well, Saturday Donut Day, and check out the service department. So let's just reiterate the Wednesdays again, because I want to make sure everybody knows that is Laguna Woods Village Resident Day at Irvine Toyota, and you can call 949-585-6888 for either one of those promotions.
Absolutely.
Is that going to just go on for the month of May, or?
You know, we're going to open this up, and Laguna Woods will have Wednesday. They're going to be our Wednesday customer, and it will be strictly for them. We will have time slots for them. They just call that number, and we'll get them in and get them out.
That sounds great. All right. Well, thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
Also with a free shuttle.
Oh, that's right. Don't forget the free shuttle.
Don't forget the free shuttle.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And remember, if you have any questions, you can always call 949-585-6888. We'll be right back.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
The Red Sox are 1 out away. And the Dodgers are down to their final strike. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series. And the best team in baseball wins it all.
Hi, I'm John Bowser Bauman. You probably know me best as Bowser from Sha Na Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And you know, when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village Television. Grease for peace.
Sometimes I wonder how we're gonna do. Ain't no cure for the summertime blues.
Well, as you can see, the Woodstock event that's going to be happening in July, it's still a few months away, but we got a couple guests here that are going to talk about it. Diane Johansson and also David Deering. So welcome. Good to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you. Always good to be here.
Yes. So as I said, this isn't until the end of July 27th, but
Correct.
You want to kind of get the word out?
Yes, we definitely want to get the word out because we want to have hundreds of people. There were about 720 last year, so we're trying for about 1,000 this year if we can. So we came all dressed, ready to, and prepared with our outfits, and David has
peace signs and shirt. This is a Boomer shirt for the 5th anniversary Boomers, and now we're at 10.
Wow. Yeah, that's, when you folks started this, what was the intent of the club? Was it just to kind of get together, or from the very start, did you intend to, did it start with doing the Woodstock event?
It started actually before that, but
okay.
But I think the intent was there's so many people who relate to Woodstock, okay, and the baby boomers were just the perfect age for Woodstock. Mm-hmm. So we said, why not, let's celebrate Woodstock, and here we are.
Okay. All right, so obviously we see that a lot of people, they dress up for this, and all different things. Obviously they can be very simple in a tie-dye.
Yes,
or become more elaborate.
And I want to explain that we're going to be selling these clothes and jewelry and things.
Oh, really?
Yes, at the
Wow.
3rd Saturday in June at the Baby Boomer Dance. And
okay, so that's good to know.
June 15th.
Okay.
And so if you want to buy your jewelry and your clothing and get a head start so that you'll be all set for the event, then we hope that the people will come to that.
All right, and there's so many different things that people can buy nowadays, and places to find things like this, and and you don't even have to spend a whole lot of money. But it's nice that you're going to be. Are you going to be selling tie-dye?
We did one year, but not this year.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
It's festive, and the clothes make it festive, and
Yeah.
beautiful Southern California weather makes it festive, and our new clubhouse too makes it festive. So we're excited.
Okay, so over the years you've done different things. You've kind of each year it's gotten a little bit larger. What about this year? What are you doing a little bit different?
This year is going to be bigger and better than ever. We're doing a lot of things differently than we ever have before, and we're going to have continuous music from 12 noon to 9 o'clock at night.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So does that mean you'll have a couple different stages?
Yes,
or
yes,
okay.
and David will explain all that in a minute. And then also we're having 8 bands. We're going to have a Woodstock Cafe, and Restaurant 19 is going to supply food, hamburgers, hot dogs, and wraps and salads and so forth. And then we're going to have a Woodstock Museum, and actual people that were at Woodstock, which
That's
David
kinda
was
neat.
one of them. He's going to be there, and along with a bunch of other
I
people.
think that's cool.
We're going to show a video the entire time that the museum is open. People can cool off by going in there and getting out of the sun, watching the video, talking to the people that were at Woodstock. We're going to have the Clown
really
Club
neat.
do. They're going to be painting faces, putting tattoos on people. We have a photographer who's going to come and take pictures. There'll be 4x6 glossies that they'll be able to take home. This is all free, and they'll have Woodstock 2019 on it. We'll have that as
Very
well.
nice.
Other vendors will be selling food and a bunch of things to bring money for to buy, and a lot of free things as well.
So as far as the food goes, you're going to have stuff from Restaurant 19,
Yes.
but also you'll bring in food trucks as well. So
We
a little
won't
bit
have
of
food
everything?
trucks this year. They're quite expensive, so we decided not to do that. But
Okay.
we will be selling Coke, soda pop and water and brownies Okay. Good brownies.
Okay.
Nice ones, regular brownies.
Yes, regular brownies.
All right. Let's talk about the music and the fact that you have continuous music. So you have a couple different stages going on. So one band can get ready while the other one's playing?
Right. We have decided that there's a lot of local talent here, okay? So we have patio bands. That's going to be Santana Tribute Band, a Creedence Clearwater Revival Tribute Band, and close the evening, The Who. Ladies and gentlemen, The Who. And in addition to that, we were going to have inside bands where we have all local talent. We have the Village Folk, we have the Dutch of Fizz, we have the Woods Combo, we have Rock of Ages. And I had the idea that, wow, let's put these bands all together. So we're putting together what we're calling the Village All-Stars, okay? And it's going to be all these bands together. We're going to do music from Woodstock.
Okay.
And while the other bands are taking a break, okay, our tribute bands are taking a break, there will be music inside. So
now this goes all day?
All day.
And people can come for a couple hours or however long they want?
We open at 7 for people to come and start putting up their tents, and we're going to have at the Little Woodstock Cafe, there'll be donuts and bagels and coffee for those people that want to set their tents up. And then
now you said tents. They can bring tents?
Canopies.
Oh,
pop-ups.
pop-ups.
I better say that. No tents.
Okay.
Only pop-ups. Thank you, Ken, for correcting
all
me
right.
on that one.
But they can bring the pop-ups.
Yes, they can.
Okay, that's good to know.
And they'll be able to put all this stuff out, and then if they want to have some coffee, you know, and visit with their neighbors and stuff before they go home and change and come back or stay there, they can. So from 7, and then it'll go clear till 9 o'clock at night.
Now, let me ask, parking-wise, and I want to jump ahead and ask that before I forget, because parking is kind of limited over there. Are you going to have parking at other places people can take a shuttle over? How's that going to work, or has that been figured out yet?
Yes, we're going to have parking. People can come and they can bring their things and leave them off at the clubhouse too.
Okay.
But then they'll need to park at Clubhouse 7 or at the community center or at Big Lots or maybe carpool or take Uber.
They can, are you sure they can park over at Big Lots? Okay, we want to make sure that,
Yes, that's the DMV is closed that day and there's a big lot over there.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I know in the past they've had shuttles that came and things like that. All right, so people can bring things. They can bring their pop-ups and chairs and food or if they want or whatever. And also you've got stuff there that they can buy. You're going to have the event beforehand, but there as well.
Yes, bring cash because there'll be things for you to purchase, but also people, they love to bring their own, they'll bring their own food,
bring their own food,
drinks.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a picnic affair where you bring all your own things and gather with all your neighbors and your friends. And
It's like the real Woodstock. Nobody brought anything to eat. But we're hoping to change that, encouraging people to bring food.
Okay, as far as tickets are $20 each, and where would they purchase those right now? Can they get them? Are they ready
Oh,
to
yes,
go?
we've been selling them already, and they can purchase them at the Friday. We have a First Friday social, Boomers, the baby boomers do, and they can purchase them there. They can purchase them on the second and fourth Friday at Restaurant 19 in the lobby from 5:30 to 7, and they can purchase them at the third Saturday dance of the baby boomers.
Okay.
Or they can also buy the tickets there of the day of the event.
So that day, when someone gets over there, are you going to have like some sort of gate set up? Where would they give the ticket? You know, once they purchase them, because you know it's Clubhouse too. It's kind of open.
Right, and we have an entrance, and they'll be wearing wristbands, and they must have those wristbands on. We'll have security checking to be sure that they do have them on. And one unique thing that we're going to have is a map. And when they come in and show us their wristband or purchase it at the time, we'll be giving them a map, which will tell them everything that's going on the grounds, in the clubhouse, in the ballroom, and in the patio area. We're utilizing the entire area, and it will show who is where and what time they'll be there, like the face painters or the photographer, or when the museum is open and so forth.
Okay, so that'll be good. Now, you mentioned, you know, you talked about the museum. If people have things they'd like to bring, or maybe if, obviously, you know, a month before or whatever, get together with you and say, hey, I have some stuff I'd like to show there. Can they do that?
Sure.
Or is it just your stuff for the museum?
Right. I had 2 regrets in life. One is that I didn't have a camera at Woodstock, okay, and the other, I missed Jerry Garcia right before he passed away. So we want to remedy that. So if people have things that they would like to show off in the museum, we'd be more than happy to do that.
But let you know ahead of time so you can get them and...
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. That's good to know,
Yeah.
because I'm sure a lot of people probably have some things that they'd like to maybe dig out and show.
Yeah.
You know, that would be kind of neat.
Or if they want to participate, if they've been to Woodstock and they want to be a participant in our museum, we'd love that too.
Okay, yeah, get involved with that.
Right.
Just go on babyboomersclub.org, and then from there they can get information
Right.
how to contact
and
you
that, I
folks.
think that information will be routed to me.
Yeah.
And I'll connect with these people.
So definitely do
Yeah.
that if you've got something that would be neat, because you know you might have had it packed away for years. Let other people take a look and enjoy it, and you know that's kind of makes the whole event part of everyone. So that's kind of neat. You know, this is it the 50th anniversary
Yes.
of Woodstock coming up?
69 to 19.
Yeah, and it's been, you know, kind of popular ever since. It's kind of ebbed and flowed certain times of over the decades, but it still remains a kind of an event that people are still connecting to.
There was one in 1994. Okay, not far from where I lived, again in
Right.
New York, and there's one this year again. To
Oh, there is,
celebrate the
okay.
50 Watkins Glen, New York.
Okay.
Yep. So it's part of the culture of the 60s to celebrate Woodstock.
All right, so if you folks want to celebrate, it's July 27th, but tickets are on sale now, and I suggest you go ahead and get them, and if you've got something maybe you'd like to show there, get in touch with David or Diane or whoever else, and their website is very easy. Just to go to the babyboomersclub.org or the babyboomersclub@gmail.com, the babyboomersclub@gmail.com. That would be great, because that way you can email directly to these folks and let them know that you've got something you'd like to show there.
Love to have some involvement and some input from people who are in some way connected to Woodstock.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Great. Good idea.
We're
Ken,
hoping
thanks.
a lot of people come, because it'll be an event people are going to be talking about for the next year or so. And if you're not there, then you'll feel bad that you weren't there because you wouldn't have been included in this fantastic event.
All right, very good.
And we're grateful for all the local bands. We're really anxious to let people, if they haven't seen any of the local bands, to come and see the local bands as well.
All right, very good, and we'll be right back. Yeah, I think the museum thing is kind of neat. Because I'm sure there are people here that...
I got a line on you, babe.
Seriously, nice backup there.
It's not surprising that the most memorable memorials are the ones we plan ourselves. After all, who knows you better than you? So why not get a plan together and let us take care of the details? It's what we're known for. Find out how at DignityOrangeCounty.com. Only a Dignity Memorial professional can celebrate a life like no other.
Hey Laguna Woods, it's Ken.
And Lisa.
Did you miss an episode of This Day? Not to worry, head over to youtube.com and search Village Television.
Here you can find each episode of This Day and other community programs such as Good Day OC, Discovering Laguna Woods, and much more.
Just click the red subscribe button, then click the bell to be emailed every time we upload a video.
Don't miss out.
And subscribe today.
Thank you for joining us. Today I have Annette Walker, who is the president of the City of Hope of Orange County, and we're going to be discussing her history with the City of Hope and also the medical industry, as well as a brand new operation that's going in the Great Park. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's very nice to have you.
Oh, thank you. It's a real pleasure to be here this morning.
So I know you've lived in Orange County your whole life just about, and you have some projects that are coming up that we're going to talk about, but tell me about your history.
Well, my husband and I came to Orange County in 1980 when we started our family. We raised our 6 children here. We have 12 grandchildren. Most of them live here. All of my professional jobs have been based in Orange County for my whole career. So I started way back in 1980 working for an organization called FHP. Okay. That was my very first job. But I've had a really great career working for all the major health systems in Orange County for pretty good chunks of time. So I really think I've had a just a really unique opportunity to enjoy so much of what Orange County has to offer, both professionally and personally.
Okay, well, that's wonderful that you've been here a long time. Now, I know that City of Hope is well known for their cancer treatments and research. Tell me a little bit about how people in Orange County are going to benefit from the new operation.
Well, City of Hope is very unique. I think sometimes people think City of Hope is a cancer hospital in Duarte. And clearly, yes, City of Hope has a very, very fine, large facility on its 100 acres in Duarte. But what they probably don't realize is that's just a sliver of what City of Hope really is. City of Hope also has 26 sites of care in Southern California.
Okay.
But uniquely, or interestingly enough, none of them yet are in Orange County. It has 2 large research institutions, one focused on cancer and one on diabetes.
Okay.
Yeah, it has cell manufacturing capabilities, which for some of the immunotherapies, they can actually produce the therapies that the patients are getting.
Okay.
And it also has a really strong genetics company as part of its portfolio, which in cancer is becoming increasingly important.
Well, exactly. I mean, I understand that precision medicine is something that everyone is talking about, so you can certainly contribute to that as well.
Oh, absolutely. Precision medicine is a strategic priority at City of Hope. And as we get better and better at not only defining exactly what your illness is, but predicting the therapy that will actually work the best for you, it's going to become increasingly important, and is every day.
And is every day. All right, very good. Does Orange County have a higher cancer rate?
In some, it depends on the cancer. Some cancers, we actually have a lower cancer rate that are attributed to lifestyle. But interestingly enough, in breast cancer, we have a higher cancer rate.
Interesting.
About 25% higher than the U.S. average.
Huh. Okay. And what about the other cancers? Not so much?
I'd say they're fairly equal.
Okay.
They're fairly equal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then what would be happening at the new facility that's going to be built in the Great Park?
Well, right now we're spending our time really doing a lot of research into Orange County regarding what does Orange County have, what does Orange County need. We're looking at the population statistics in Orange County. We're looking at the cancers that are prevalent in Orange County, and we're doing a predictive analysis of how that's going to look in the next 10 to 15 years. And then we're saying, as we have that picture develop, where can City of Hope provide the most value? What City of Hope has that will be a great benefit to Orange County is the really subspecialization in cancer. So we have 500 physicians and scientists who do nothing but focus on curing cancer. And so we have, for instance, if I had a liquid cancer, hematology cancer, City of Hope has physicians who spend their whole life studying just the cancer that you might have, and the therapies that work the best, and the cures that are happening, and the kind of person that would be most likely to benefit from a particular drug to treat that cancer. So it's about subspecialization, or it's a level of subspecialization that generally only an academic center can have. And because City of Hope only really focuses on 2 main diseases, cancer and diabetes, the amount of horsepower it can bring to that problem is really significant, and Orange County will hugely benefit from that focus.
Okay, and you have a facility in Newport Beach.
Yes.
Tell me about that one.
Well, we're really excited we announced just a few months ago that we purchased a building in Newport, and that we'll be opening it by the end of the year. And we really wanted to solidify our commitment to Orange County, that we're really serious about coming here, and also provide to the extent that we can, as soon as we can, to alleviate some of the stress on our current patients who currently have to travel to Duarte for services.
Right, okay. And then you're also going to be building a large operation in the Great Park. Can you tell me some things about that?
The Great Park is more going to be like a campus dedicated to cancer and to treating and preventing cancer. So it's going to be significantly larger than Newport. And it will have significantly more sophisticated services than Newport has. City of Hope is going to bring some of that subspecialty that we were talking about and the research capabilities that City of Hope has from Duarte into Orange County at the Irvine campus.
Okay, great, great. And we're showing we do have a photo here. So the projection is that it will have, it's kind of like you said, larger, but it would be like a campus?
Yeah, it's going to be more like a campus.
Okay.
It's going to be more like a campus, and it's right now it's envisioned to be in that area of dirt that you see right there, just below the train station.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that actually is quite convenient. So
it's funny. I think City of Hope's going to be the only cancer center in the United States that is actually adjacent to 2 major train stations, because the Duarte campus is actually across the street from this train station.
Do people ever take the train to get there?
Oh, all the time.
Oh, no kidding.
But isn't that funny? Because in California, it's not like trains are everywhere, but that both of our major facilities will be next to train stations.
Oh,
it's kind
very
of interesting.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, and then if people want to know more information about, you know, how they can get involved or learn more about what's happening, where should they go?
Well, we have a website that you can hear about us, but I also say just stay tuned, because as the plans for particularly Irvine become more apparent, we're going to be sharing that with the community. We're going to invite the community to help us design it and weigh in on it. We're going to include patients in that. So just stay tuned. You're going to see us in a lot of places.
All right, fantastic. And then we'll hopefully have you back too, and
I'd love
give
to
us an update and let us know what's happening. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think there is one thing. When I made the decision to come here, it was really to answer the call of our patients who were here in Orange County. This year we had 3,200 patients who live in Orange County who drove to Duarte to get their cancer care. And when you hear that, it's pretty compelling to say, can City of Hope be of use to Orange County? Can City of Hope provide value to Orange County? So I want to particularly maybe do a shout out to our patients that we've heard you and we're coming.
That's great. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us. And if you would like additional information, you can always go to cityofhope.org/OC.
In a land of hopes and dreams lived a luxury lifestyle consultant with spectacular taste. One day he thought, I'll show lottery winners how to live like a millionaire.
I'm like gonna cry. Like, this is beautiful.
Pinch me. He scoured the land looking for the home of their dreams, which he slayed. So the families could live in plenty and live fabulously ever after.
All new My Lottery Dream Home, Friday night at 9 on HGTV.
Did you know that Charlie Brown has never been able to keep a kite in the air?
This is what you call a failure face.
The only thing wrong with Charlie Brown is his lack of confidence.
Almost frightening to conceive what a good man you are. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. You're the kind of reminder.
Did you know that Charlie Brown has never been able to keep a kite in the air?
This is what you call a failure face.
The only thing wrong with Charlie Brown is his lack of confidence.
Almost frightening to conceive what a good man you are.
And with me right now from the Old Pros is Sheila Bialka, and Sheila is directing You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, which is coming up not this week, but next week, the 17th, 18th, and 19th at the Performing Arts Center.
That's right. That's right. We're ready to go. I mean, we're down to the wire almost now. So
getting close.
Everything is push, push, push. I mean, we are trying to make it. The one person I must commend, because he's doing a fabulous job, and I know I should tell you all the cast are working hard. But Mark Hochberg is just going to surprise so many people because, you know, Mark Hochberg, everybody knows, he sits there and he plays the piano and he's a beautiful pianist and everybody's got him playing for this, that and the other. But wait till they see him on stage. I mean, he just breaks the cast up every time.
Well, that should be good. And of course, he's Schroeder.
He's Schroeder, yeah, of course. And we've got the little piano that he sits at, and Lucy gets on it, you know, and leans over. Yeah, we've got the whole bit. The props that Ken Simonson has built are wonderful. They really are. They're very, of course, they're substantial because the doghouse, Snoopy has to get on the doghouse, and Lucy's got to lean on the piano, and you know they've got to be, and they're really, really good. He's built some boxes that we can move around. I mean. Tremendous, and the colours, you know. Then he's going to put a wall up for us, and we're going to put a hydrant on it because Lucy has to sing a song about a hydrant. You find them everywhere.
Yeah.
They give you water, you know that. It's a cute show, but I want people to realise it's not a children's show. It's not for children only. It's for adults. It's quite, you know, some of the philosophical bits that come out are very, very adult, really. I mean, it would go right over a child's head.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I want adults to come. And then I want people to know that this is something we don't talk about, but I'm going to talk about it because I'm that kind who talks about everything.
Really? I never knew that about you, Sheila.
How much it costs to put on a show here.
Yeah.
When we do a play, just a straight play, it usually costs us between like $7,000 and $9,000.
Wow.
Now, people are shocked at that.
Yeah.
So to do a musical, which the rights to the musical is over $2,000 just to be able to put it on.
Right.
So we're going to be doing between $10,000 and $12,000 on this one.
Wow.
Between.
Yeah, people don't realize that you have to pay for these.
We have to pay the rights. Yeah.
Unless you guys write your own stuff, you've got to pay for this because if you went and did it and somebody found out about it.
Ooh, yes. I mean, you've been big trouble.
Yeah.
Big trouble. So, and you have to abide by their rules. I mean, they send you a contract, and it's really tough. I mean, we have Jules Zalon, thank God. He goes over those contracts with a fine-tooth comb and explains to us what we can do, what we can't do, and be careful that you don't do it.
Yeah.
Because that was his job in real life. You know, he read contracts and that for theatre. So we have him on our side. But you've got to tread very carefully how you advertise it and what you do. I mean, you're only allowed to use so many characters. You can't add characters. It's quite stringent. So,
yeah, I don't know what I told Sheila that I know they did it in the school that my daughter went to and my wife taught at. I think when my daughter wasn't in the play, but her friends were. I don't know if that was 5th or 6th grade, whatever it was. Now I don't know if they have to go through this, being that they're a school.
No. Schools get special dispensation.
Yeah.
With these.
Because of course they add the cast because they want all the kids to be in it in the background and sing on the side.
They change it around, but we're not allowed to change anything. You know, so it's very.
Of course, the school isn't charging for you to come to see it.
That's right. That's right. So, you know, and then they've got people that volunteer their time, like parents, PTA.
Right.
They help out, they build sets and that. Whereas we have to, pay for everything.
Yeah.
And then Tech Week, I mean, we've got 2 techs up in the booth running the show for us. I mean, lighting, sound, making sure everything's right. And, you know, we have to pay them by the hour.
Right. Yeah.
So it runs into a lot of money. And we have to pay for the theatre. We have to pay to rent the theatre. We don't get it for nothing. So I just want people to be aware because we've had to put the price of the tickets up. But let me tell you, I think if you come, you'll be quite surprised at the talent on the stage.
Yeah.
And I'm talking really of Mark, who everybody knows.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing. You see him really blossom.
Yeah.
We even let him do his hula hoop.
Okay.
He brings his hula hoop. So I think it'll be a good show. I think it really will be a good show. And please, just come and congratulate them because they worked hard.
Right.
They've worked harder on this show than any other show I've ever done. And I've been awful to them. I really have. had the whip out. And
Yeah,
everything.
well, you got to do that sometimes, right?
Yeah. Well, one girl apparently in the cast, she said to another member of the cast, God, if Sheila spoke to me like she's speaking to that one, I'd be in tears. So, anyway, also, while I'm here, let me mention that From the Woods, our soap opera, we're going to have a new episode on this Friday. So this should be a real fun one. I think this is the real funny one, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not privy to everything, but I think it's going to be a good episode.
All right. And that, of course, we show that on Friday and every Friday. And I know one other day during the week, I think we play it
Monday,
as well. Monday, that's right. Thank you.
And in the next couple of episodes, they're going to have me on. I've got a part.
Wow. And you usually don't.
Because I'm playing myself.
Oh, you are?
Big, bombastic, know-it-all, typecasting.
Well, we'll have to see what you wear
I wish they'd have, cast me as a nun or something, against type, that I could have acted. This I don't have to act.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun to do that.
Anyway, like I say, with Charlie Brown, please come see us and watch From the Woods on Channel 6, which is the best television station in the world. Don't forget to watch all the things on. You've got some super things on Channel 6.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, since I've been with you, you've blossomed.
And the best is the Trading Post,
Oh, of course,
right?
Trading
Because
Post.
she does the Trading Post.
I've been doing that for over 20 years.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was doing it when you came.
I think
How
so.
long have you worked there?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we started out in that place that's now a building.
Yeah. So if people want tickets, obviously they're available at the Performing Arts Center.
Yeah,
$15 or $20.
Yeah.
And it's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the May 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Friday and Saturday it's at 7 o'clock, and Sunday it's a matinee. So if you want to come on the buses will run and you can come and enjoy it. But you'll walk out better than you walked in, I'll tell you.
It'll be a lot of fun. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, my dear. It's a pleasure, always.
Yes, always good to see you, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Trading Post.
You will indeed.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
You're a good man, Charlie Brown. You're the kind of reminder.
Did you know that Charlie Brown has never been able to keep a kite in the air?
This is what you call a failure face.
The only thing wrong with Charlie Brown is his lack of confidence.
Almost frightening to conceive what a good man you are.
I had been with another hospice for my husband, Ed. After about 2 months, I thought, they're not doing much for me. So I went to the computer and brought up the list of hospices, and there was OC. Their response was immediate. They did everything. They had all their ducks in the row, and that's what I was looking for. It was comforting till the very end, and then at the very end, the last 3 days, it was continuous care, and nobody ever left him.
Mother's Day is coming, and Diane's Hallmark is just the place to get Mom a gift that shows how much you care. Our women's department has gifts for that special someone, including clothing, jewelry, Vera Bradley, and Bagolini
Before the next earthquake, take 30 seconds to refresh your memory about these important disaster preparedness tips. Make a family emergency plan. Decide how you'll get in touch with each other, where you'll go, and what you'll do in an emergency. Build a disaster supply kit with enough water, food, and emergency supplies to last at least 3 days. It's important to have disaster supply kits for work, cars, and pets too. Find and fix items in your home that might hurt someone by moving, breaking, or falling during an earthquake. Know how to react safely when the ground shakes. If you're inside, stay there. Remember to drop, cover, and hold on. Drop down onto your hands and knees and cover your head and neck with your arms to protect yourself from falling objects. If you can move safely, crawl under a sturdy desk or table and hold on to one of the legs until the shaking stops. After an earthquake, help people who are hurt or trapped. Call 911 for emergencies only. Check your home for damage, including gas or water leaks, damaged wiring, or downed power lines. Protect your family and your home by making a plan, building a kit, and practicing disaster drills at least twice a year. Be sure to visit readyoc.org for more information on emergency preparedness and alertoc.com to sign up for emergency alerts and notifications. We want you to be prepared for a disaster just as much as you do.
Well, coming up on a Friday, very different movie. It's called The Sisters Brothers, and this stars John C. Reilly, Joaquin Phoenix, Jake Gyllenhaal, a very big cast for sure. And it's called that because these two sort of outlaw types that's their last name, is sisters. And they find themselves on a journey through the Northwest, bringing them to the mountains of Oregon, a dangerous brothel in the small town of Mayfield. That's not the Mayfield that...
no, not Mayberry.
Not,
Wait,
yeah.
Is that like Mayberry?
Mayfield was the town that they always use in the old Disney movies.
Oh, yes.
Mayfield. That's not that town.
No.
And eventually the gold rush land of California, an adventure that tests the deadly family ties that bind. So a very different movie. It's rated R, really for violence. There is some comedy involved in this as well, a little bit of everything. And as I said, a really good cast and beautiful scenery.
Yeah,
it
looks
really
great.
is. So.
There was a series that was on a while ago that we were watching called Deadwood.
Yes, I remember that.
Do you remember that? So it's
Yeah.
kind of like that, but Deadwood was really
Yeah.
pretty explicit. But this kind of reminds me of it a little bit.
Very good, excellent cast.
Yeah,
I mean,
looks good.
seriously. All right, and it's nice to see westerns now and then.
Yes, and then we also have a movie on Monday, which is at 2 and 6, and it's called In a Lonely Place, and this one is from the 1950s. So you should remember this film. Hollywood screenwriter Dixon Steele, who is played by Humphrey Bogart, and his neighbor Laura, which is Gloria Graham, are just getting to know each other romantically when the police begin questioning Dixon about his involvement in the murder of a girl he met once. Certain her new love interest is innocent, Laurel stands by Dixon, but as the police continue pressing him, Dixon begins to act increasingly erratic. The blossoming love affair suffers as Laurel begins to wonder if Dixon really might be the killer. So love, intrigue, and love. And that again will be on Monday, May 20th at 2 and 6 p.m. and looks very interesting and
Yeah, it does.
suspenseful and drama and
1950, wow.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. Looks good.
Good cast again.
Yep.
Humphrey Bogart, always fun to watch. He always looks, I don't know how old he was back then, but he always looks older than the leading woman that he's playing against.
Well,
which was probably the case.
Probably because they were 12.
Yeah, probably was.
The women were very young.
Yeah, it was probably the case back. That's what. That wasn't unusual back then. I still love. Which one? The African Queen? Was that it?
Yeah.
That's still, and
That's
of course
still.
that's the ride that's the movie that the Jungle Cruise was based off of. Yeah,
Which we
I
always
love that.
ride every time.
That was a good movie. That was really good. Katharine Hepburn and I love that movie. All right, this is going to be cool. Coming up, the South County Senior Summit. We had a Supervisor Lisa Bartlett on the other day, and this year it is not here. It is at Soka University. It's grown quite a bit, so they needed a bigger venue, and that's a beautiful one. I was there the other week for their international festival. And this is happening this Friday. So coming up, May 17th at 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And it is free. However, they do need you to RSVP because they provide food, both breakfast and lunch for you. So the website is ocseniorsummit.com, and the number is 800-510-2020. Now they are asking, because parking is a little tight there, the students will be gone because college, I think, ends this week up there. But there's no real bus service, so you need to carpool. They're asking if you can. So again, it is this Friday, so go out and enjoy it. They have door prizes of all kinds of people there to talk to, and they really give you great information.
Yeah, perfect idea. All right, and then we also showed you a clip earlier today about the old pros. Well, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, the musical, will be here this weekend, Friday, May 17th, Saturday and Sunday. And again, that's at the Performing Arts Center. Tickets are $15 and $20. And you can get all this information if you would like to email ocoldpros@gmail.com, or you can call Miranda McPhee at 949-445-2553. And then one other thing that's happening this weekend is Saturday, May 18th is the Memorial Golf Tournament, and that is going to be starting at what time? 10:30 a.m. when the golfers are checking in. I would go ahead and get your entry in as soon as possible, because I'm sure they've already started lining up their foursomes, so I would get that information as soon as possible. You can go to lwmgc.org, or you can call Bob Napak at 949-533-5637.
Yeah.
So it looks like
and
a busy
we have
weekend.
not heard if they've sold out or that or anything
we haven't,
yet.
so just go ahead and check in.
Yeah. All right, our weather today, we are going to have some a little bit of mix of overcast skies, and I think we'll get a little sun, and then as we get to the evening, we could start to see that storm coming in, and they are calling this a late winter storm. It's going to be quite cold, as you can see, dropping to 65, and they are expecting, right now, beginning to get snow in the Mammoth area and in the Sierras, up to a foot of snow, believe it or not. Even down here above 6,000 feet, they're expecting some dusting of snow starting late tonight. Really, the bulk of the rain will come in after midnight and all the way through mid-morning tomorrow, and then taper off with scattered showers throughout the remainder of the day. A little bit more rain possible on Sunday. So nice today. And then it'll be nice as far as the temperatures go, and then a little bit nicer on Friday and Saturday, but a little more rain.
I'm heading to Palm Springs. 93 looks good.
They're getting rain.
They're getting rain too?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
man.
they will be getting rain. This is a big system.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Big for this time of the year. And again, the tennis is going on.
There's those senior guys. We interviewed those guys last year, and I have to say, the one thing about watching the singles guys play at that age,
it's amazing.
Makes me feel totally guilty for not playing singles.
Yeah, it's
but
amazing.
It's fun, and it's always a nice time to go out there and check that out, so make sure you guys check that out. Tomorrow we have Harvard Eye, Social Services, the Indian Club will be here, and then the Globe, and they've got some really cool updates for us about the Catalina runway that they
that's
rebuilt.
right.
The military
That's
rebuilt
right.
it.
Now
so
I know what you're talking
they'll
about.
have that. Yeah. You looked concerned.
No, I know what you're talking about. I thought you were going to say like a Catalina trip or something.
No. The Catalina
runway,
is being
they've
redone, and they had a lot of military planes fly in. And it was really awesome. So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day in the village.
Bye-bye.